The glittering lights of New York City have always served as the ultimate backdrop for moments that define cultural history, but certain evenings carry an undeniable magic before the first note is even played. In the heart of Manhattan, at the iconic Marriott Marquis, an atmosphere of intense anticipation filled the crisp evening air as the music industry gathered for an event decades in the making. The streets outside were lined with devoted onlookers and flashing cameras, all waiting to catch a glimpse of a phenomenon that has reshaped the global entertainment landscape. Inside the venue, the quiet murmur of legendary artists, producers, and executives created a rich tapestry of nostalgia and forward-looking excitement. It was an evening designed to honor the very foundation of the musical craft, celebrating the individuals whose words and melodies become the soundtracks of our lives. Yet, long before the formal proceedings began, everyone in attendance could feel the unique weight of this specific gathering, recognizing that they were about to witness a historic milestone that would bridge generations of creative genius. If you want to stay updated on these monumental moments in music history and never miss an insider look at your favorite icons, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now to join our community. The sense of wonder only deepened as the arrival of one extraordinary individual turned the red carpet into a masterclass in elegance and symbolic storytelling. Stepping out into the spotlight, Taylor Swift instantly captivated the room, radiating a timeless grace that felt both deeply personal and profoundly grand. She chose to mark this monumental occasion by wearing a breathtaking, custom black floral gown designed by Givenchy's Sarah Burton, a piece that perfectly mirrored the gravity of the night. The floor-sweeping masterpiece was meticulously embroidered from top to bottom, with vibrant, colorful blooms mirroring the fashion house's celebrated Fall 2026 collection, creating a striking contrast against the dark fabric. Featuring a classic corseted bodice, a dramatic draped skirt, and a daring thigh-high slit, the gown balanced tradition with modern edge, proving once again her unmatched ability to command a room through visual art. Complementing the garment with her signature bold red lipstick and a soft, sophisticated updo, she chose to skip a traditional necklace, allowing the intricate neckline of the dress to take center stage. Instead, she accessorized with a pair of exquisite Mindy Mon citrine drop earrings and a timeless Jessica McCormick diamond bracelet that caught the light with every movement. Even her smallest styling choices carried deliberate meaning, as she traded the blue cloud-covered manicure inspired by her recent appearance at a major film premiere for a rich, dark maroon polish that perfectly matched the evening's sophisticated palette. Completing her striking ensemble were black satin sandals from Givenchy and a brilliant custom engagement ring designed by Kindred Lubeck, given to her by her fiancé, Travis Kelce. This meticulous attention to detail set the perfect tone for an evening dedicated to celebrating the meticulous craft of songwriting. Beyond the sheer glamour of the red carpet, the true significance of the night lay in the extraordinary milestone being reached by a woman who has spent 2 decades turning her diary entries into global anthems. At just 36 years old, she was arriving at the Marriott Marquis to be officially inducted into the prestigious Songwriters Hall of Fame, securing her place as the youngest woman ever to receive this monumental honor in the organization's long history. This historic achievement places her in an elite circle of musical innovators, making her the second youngest inductee overall, a record surpassed only by the legendary Stevie Wonder, who was a mere 32 years old when he earned his own induction back in 1983. To understand the magnitude of this moment, one must look at the giants who walked before her, women like Carol Bayer Sager, Dolly Parton, and Mariah Carey, who were much further along in their storied careers when they received this specific recognition. To achieve this level of institutional reverence before even reaching her late 30s speaks to an unprecedented level of cultural impact and artistic consistency. The Songwriters Hall of Fame requires an artist to have a 20-year catalog of commercially released music to even be considered for entry, a milestone she reached precisely this year. Tracking back to the moment her very first country single introduced a teenage storyteller to the world. Her presence at the ceremony was not just a celebration of recent chart success, but a formal recognition of a 20-year journey defined by artistic shapeshifting, narrative courage, and an unwavering commitment to the written word. This induction ceremony represents the ultimate validation for an artist who has consistently prioritized the longevity of her catalog over fleeting industry trends. As the evening progressed, the deeper connections between her past and present began to unfold in ways that only her most dedicated followers could fully appreciate. This was not her first time walking into a Songwriters Hall of Fame gala, as she had previously attended the prestigious event 16 years earlier, back in 2010. On that unforgettable night, a youthful rising star arrived in a delicate, lilac-colored J. Mendel dress paired with classic Christian Louboutin slingback heels, wide-eyed and eager to be embraced by the songwriting community. In a brilliant nod to her own history, she styled her hair for the 2026 gala in a remarkably similar soft updo, a subtle, artistic choice that served as a beautiful bridge across time. Back in 2010, the organization had honored her with the Hal David Starlight Award, an accolade specifically designed to recognize gifted young songwriters who are making a significant impact on the music industry early in their careers. By returning to the stage to accept full membership status, she achieved yet another historic milestone, becoming the very first recipient in the history of the organization to graduate from the Starlight Award to full induction. This rare trajectory highlights a journey of sustained excellence, proving that the raw promise recognized over a decade ago has blossomed into a legendary career that will influence generations of writers to come. The grand celebration in Manhattan arrived at the peak of an incredibly whirlwind week, illustrating the relentless pace of a superstar who seamlessly balances monumental career milestones with high-profile personal appearances. Within a single 24-hour time span just days prior, she had managed to shock and delight fans on opposite sides of the country, demonstrating her unmatched star power and dedication to her multifaceted life. First, she made a surprise appearance at the highly anticipated Los Angeles premiere of the major animated feature film, Toy Story 5, where her presence sent shockwaves through the entertainment world. Not only did she grace the event, but she also delivered a stunning, highly exclusive live performance of her beautiful track from the movie's official soundtrack, marking the very first time the public had heard the song performed live. Immediately after capturing the hearts of the audience in California, she boarded a plane to return to the East Coast, where she was spotted courtside at Madison Square Garden for Game 4 of the professional basketball finals. Cheering passionately alongside her closest friends, she embraced the electric energy of New York sports culture, proving her ability to transition effortlessly from the glamour of a Hollywood film premiere to the intense excitement of a high-stakes athletic championship. This breathtaking display of energy and versatility provided the ultimate prologue to her historic night at the Songwriters Hall of Fame, showcasing a modern icon operating at the absolute height of her powers. The grand ballroom of the Marriott Marquis was filled with a palpable sense of reverence as the 2026 Songwriters Hall of Fame induction ceremony officially commenced, bringing together a brilliant assembly of musical pioneers. This exclusive institution, founded more than half a century ago, has always maintained the highest standards for entry, requiring nominees to possess a prolific catalog spanning at least 2 decades of continuous artistic contribution. To step across this threshold to be recognized not just as a temporary hitmaker, but as a permanent architect of modern culture whose words have fundamentally shaped the human experience. The class of 2026 stood as a testament to the diverse and expansive nature of musical storytelling, featuring a lineup of legendary figures who have defined entirely different eras and genres. Joining the historic induction class alongside the global pop phenomenon were iconic alternative rock pioneer Alanis Morissette, whose raw, emotional lyrics redefined the landscape of 1990s music, and soft rock maestro Kenny Loggins, celebrated for creating some of the most memorable cinematic anthems of all time. The induction roster also honored the formidable creative partnership of Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons, the driving forces behind the theatrical rock band Kiss, who proved that stadium-sized anthems could carry immense songwriting sophistication. Adding to the depth of this prestigious group were master hitmaker Christopher "Tricky" Stewart, renowned pop and R&B producer Walter Afanasieff, and the brilliant songwriting duo of Terry Britten and Graham Lyle, the minds behind some of the greatest soul and pop classics in modern music. As each legendary name was announced, the collective weight of their contributions cast a profound spell over the audience, setting the stage for a deeper exploration of how a teenage country singer from Pennsylvania earned her place among these timeless giants. The journey to this historic evening was paved with relentless determination, artistic evolution, and a fierce, uncompromising defense of creative ownership that forever changed the mechanics of the entertainment industry. When she first arrived in Nashville as a young teenager, acoustic guitar in hand, she was often met with skepticism by an establishment accustomed to seasoned professionals writing for passive performers. Breaking through those traditional barriers, she insisted on writing or co-writing every single track on her debut records, capturing the authentic anxieties, heartbreaks, and dreams of youth with a precision that resonated far beyond her core demographic. As her career skyrocketed, she refused to be confined by the boundaries of a single genre, boldly transitioning from country to global pop, and later exploring the intricate narrative-driven worlds of alternative folk. This constant reinvention was not merely a marketing strategy, but a necessary manifestation of her evolving relationship with language and melody, proving that her songwriting could transcend any sonic production. Her ability to maintain creative control over her sprawling catalog became a defining narrative of her career, serving as an inspiring blueprint for younger artists fighting for their own intellectual property and artistic freedom. The mounting tension inside the ballroom reached a spectacular peak as the moment for her highly anticipated live performance finally arrived, fulfilling a secret promise that had been teased to the world weeks prior. Entertainment outlets had previously broken an exclusive report revealing that the superstar would not merely accept her trophy, but would deliver a rare, intimate performance specifically tailored for this gathered community of peer craftsmen. When the lights dimmed and she took her place on the stage, a hush fell over the room of seasoned veterans, executives, and fellow inductees, all eager to hear how she would honor her two-decade journey in a single musical moment. Sitting down with her instrument, stripped of the massive stadium production, backup dancers, and special effects that usually accompany her global tours, she reminded everyone in attendance of the raw, foundational talent that started it all. Her performance of her newest masterwork, I Knew It, I Knew You, was delivered with a searing, emotional vulnerability that filled every corner of the grand venue. Her voice echoing with the maturity of a seasoned storyteller looking back at life's intricate complexities. The song, celebrated for its complex lyrical structure and hauntingly beautiful melody, served as the perfect thesis statement for her induction, illustrating that her current work is just as groundbreaking as the hits that defined her early career. Watching her command the stage with nothing but her words and a melody, the audience was visibly moved, recognizing that they were witnessing an artist at the absolute pinnacle of her creative powers, fully deserving of her place in the Hall of Fame. The atmosphere of celebration extended far beyond the walls of the New York ballroom, deeply intertwined with the joyous milestones of her personal life and the unwavering support of those closest to her. Central to her current chapter is her relationship with her fiancé, Travis Kelce, whose presence in her life has become a source of immense joy and stability amidst the whirlwind of global superstardom. On her left hand, the sparkling engagement ring custom designed by Kindred Lubeck served as a beautiful, glittering symbol of this partnership. Catching the bright stage lights during her performance and drawing admiring glances throughout the evening. The couple's ability to support each other's monumental careers while maintaining a deeply grounded connection has captivated fans worldwide, adding a layer of personal fulfillment to her professional triumphs. As she stood before her peers, accepting one of the highest honors of her life, the balance between her public legacy as an untouchable musical icon and her private happiness as a woman embarking on a new life chapter was beautifully evident. This harmonious convergence of professional validation and personal peace created an undeniable warmth around her presence, making the historic induction feel like a celebration of her entire life journey rather than just her commercial achievements. The sheer magnitude of the evening was further amplified by the deep sense of history that connected this induction class to the generations of songwriters who came before them, illustrating the continuous evolution of popular music. The Songwriters Hall of Fame remains a vital institution because it strips away the fleeting metrics of streaming numbers and ticket sales, focusing entirely on the enduring power of the written composition. For an artist who has spent her life analyzing the mechanics of a great song, being welcomed into this fraternity by individuals who penned the defining tracks of the 20th century was a profoundly humbling experience. The interactions between the incoming inductees and the established members showcased a beautiful passing of the torch, as veteran rockers and legendary pop composers exchanged words of mutual admiration with the youngest woman to ever enter their ranks. The event highlighted the universal language of melody, showing how a song written in a bedroom by a teenager can carry the same emotional weight and structural integrity as a track recorded in a high-tech studio by industry veterans. As the ceremony progressed toward its grand finale, the deep significance of her historic achievement began to fully crystallize, setting up the ultimate realization of what this moment truly means for the future of music history. The culmination of this historic evening at the Marriott Marquis marked more than just a personal triumph for Taylor Swift. It signaled a profound tectonic shift in how the music industry values the contributions of modern songwriters. As she stood at the podium to deliver her official acceptance speech, the atmosphere in the grand ballroom transformed from a celebration of individual success into a collective reflection on the enduring power of the written word. In a deeply moving address that was both eloquent and profoundly humble, she expressed her immense gratitude to the organization and paid tribute to the legendary figures sharing the stage with her. She spoke passionately about the sacred nature of the songwriting process, describing it as a lifelong pursuit of capturing elusive human emotions and turning them into something tangible that can heal, comfort, and unite people across the globe. Her words resonated deeply with the audience of fellow creators, reminding everyone that beneath the massive stadiums, the complex business arrangements, and the overwhelming glare of global fame, everything begins with a blank page and a single acoustic guitar. This moment of ultimate institutional recognition served as a powerful validation for her decision to always put her identity as a writer above all else, proving that her commitment to authentic storytelling has left an indelible mark on the history of popular music. The true weight of her induction becomes clear when looking at her remarkable journey from a young, aspiring artist to a foundational pillar of the global creative community. A trajectory that has permanently redefined the boundaries of what a musician can achieve. Her path was never linear, but rather a series of courageous artistic risks, each marked by a willingness to completely reinvent her sonic identity while keeping her narrative core perfectly intact. From the country storytelling of her youth to the stadium-sized pop anthems of her 20s, and further into the cinematic, folklore-driven landscapes of her mature work, she has consistently used her lyrics as a bridge to connect with millions of souls. This journey has not only inspired a generation of listeners but has also transformed the entire landscape for incoming artists, who now view her career as the ultimate blueprint for artistic longevity and creative independence. By demonstrating that a songwriter can retain absolute ownership over their artistic output and still achieve unprecedented commercial success, she has single-handedly rewritten the rules of the music industry, empowering countless young musicians to fight for their rights and protect their own creative visions. The legacy of the 2026 induction class will undoubtedly be remembered as a monumental milestone that celebrated both the rich history and the bright future of contemporary music, bridging different generations of creative excellence. Alongside icons like Alanis Morissette, Kenny Loggins, and the members of KISS, she helped showcase the beautiful diversity of the songwriting craft, illustrating that great music transcends the boundaries of genre, era, and background. This historic gathering of creative minds served as a vivid reminder of the cultural importance of preserving the arts and honoring the individuals who dedicate their lives to soundtracking the human experience. As the final notes of the evening faded and the guests began to depart, the enduring impact of what had transpired in New York City became unmistakably clear to everyone in attendance. The induction of the youngest woman in history into the Songwriters Hall of Fame was not merely a celebration of past achievements, but a bold statement about the timeless nature of artistic expression and the infinite possibilities that lie ahead for the future of global music culture. Her induction stands as a monument to the idea that as long as there are stories to be told and hearts to be healed, the power of a beautifully written song will always remain an unstoppable force in our world. This unforgettable night officially secured her place among the eternal giants of melody and rhyme, ensuring that her words will continue to inspire, comfort, and guide generations of dreamers long into the future. With her place in the Hall of Fame now firmly cemented, she looks forward to a future filled with endless creative exploration, supported by a global community of fans and peers who recognize her as one of the greatest storytellers to ever live. The story that began decades ago in a small town has reached its most magnificent chapter yet, proving that true artistic genius is timeless, boundless, and ultimately immortal.